Hello all. As in the previous video, we try to understand what are the different operations involved in the convolution. Let us try to understand how convolution will be determined for the two signals. How convolution will be determined for two signals. Now, I am taking convolution. Now, I am taking x of t. X of t is one signal. Zero, 1, and this is t. And let us consider this is 2. And h of t is another signal. As we understand the impulse response for the given signal, this is 0, this is also 1, this is t, and this is 1, let us consider. And as we know, the convolution is x of t is equal, y of t is nothing but x of t convolution with h of t, which is equal to integration minus infinite to plus infinite x of tau h of t minus tau into d tau. This is the basic convolution definition, basic integral for the convolution. Now, let us try to understand how convolution will be determined for these two signals. Having said this, x of t as per our understanding input signal, and h of t is an impulse response of the system, impulse response of the linear time invariant system. Now, to understand, to determine the convolution for these two signals, the step 1 says, like there are two steps. Step 1, what we do is in the step 1, we will try to calculate the lower limit and upper limit for the convolution signal. So, step 1, in the step 1 what we do is we calculate lower limit, LL, let us say lower limit of x of t plus lower limit of h of t, lower limit of h of t. Similarly, if you calculate upper limit UL, upper limit of x of t plus upper limit of h of t. Now, what is the meaning of lower limit of x of t? Here in this particular situation, I am taking x of t and h of t, whatever the signal, x of t or h of t, depending upon that it is valid. So, if you take x1 of t, x2 of t, if you want to determine the convolution, lower limit of x1 of t and x2 of t. So, here x of t and h of t, for these two signals I am trying to determine the convolution. So, that is the reason lower limit of x of t plus lower limit of h of t. Similarly, upper limit of x of t plus upper limit of h of t. Now, what is the lower limit in this particular example? Lower limit is lower limit of, this is the lower limit and this is an upper limit, and this is a lower limit and this is an upper limit. So, lower limit of x of t is 0 plus lower limit of h of t is 0. So, 0 plus 0 will become 0. So, convolution starts at 0. If I try to consider upper limit is equal to, upper limit of first signal is 1 and upper limit of second signal is also 1. So, it is 2. So, convolution of these two signals always lies between convolution of x of t and h of t always lies in between these limits in between these limits. It means y of t is the convolution of these two signals. It will be y of t 0 and this is t. So convolution starts at 0, it ends at 2. This is what exactly mean by this particular first step. So for any signals we can determine the convolution. For any signals we can determine the convolution. We can determine the lower limits and upper limits with the help of step 1. Determine what is the signal of y of t in between these two limits. To determine that we need to understand the step 2. The steps 2 says, just I am changing the variables. Let us consider x of tau. Zero and this is 1. This is tau. It becomes now. After changing, if I change the variable from t to tau, now h of tau becomes this. It will be like this: 0, 1, and this is 1, and this is 2. The amplitudes. So after changing the variables, we got this particular signals in terms of tau, where tau is a dummy variable. Now, as if you remember, the different operation involves in the convolution. If I try to write it, one is time shifting operation, time folding operation. Time folding. Second is time shifting. Third is multiplication. Fourth is integration. We are trying to perform all these operations in order to determine the convolution of the given two signals. Now, I'm saying like time folding means like just I'm trying to fold the signal as h of minus tau. It looks like this. The time folded version 1, and this will be minus 1, and this is 0, and this is tau. First operation. Now what I have to do is in the step 2, is we have to bring this particular signal, from minus infinite to plus infinite over the other signal, So assume that this minus infinite to plus infinite, this is the time axis. We need to bring this particular signal from the minus infinite to plus infinite. Assume that I have stored this particular signal in my hand. I am at minus infinite, and there is no overlapping area between these two signals. There is no overlapping area in between these two signals. And if I slowly try to keep on bring the signal towards right side, maybe the situation looks like somewhere here it is this h of minus tau. It looks like this. This is 0 tau. Now there is no common overlapping area here. And similarly, if I say h of minus tau for this particular situation, it looks like this, minus 1, 0. Still there is no common area because overlapping area. Now if I try to keep on move the signal towards right side, the common area starts at this point. H of minus tau. The common area starts at this point, minus 1, 0, and this is 1, and this is tau. Exactly this common area starts. Whenever this vertical axis, h of minus tau vertical axis is coinciding with the h of x of tau, there the overlapping area starts. overlapping area starts. So you need to assume that this signal we are trying to bring from minus infinite to plus infinite, while bringing the common area starts at the origin, and if I try to keep on move the signal towards right side, the next situation, if I say x of minus tau, h of minus tau for this particular situation, let us understand this is 0 and this is again 1 and this is tau. Now if you try to compare this, now there is overlapping area up to here, and this is an overlapping area. If you try to keep on move the signal towards right side, there will be 100% overlapping area at the and this is 1, minus 1 and 0 and this is 1. So if you keep on move the signal towards right side, there will be 100% area, maximum overlapping area, and if you still try to move the signal towards right side, the overlapping area will be keep on decreases, and here this convolution will be maximum, and even if you try to move the signal towards right side slowly, 100% overlapping, and slowly it's like there is no overlapping area. Slowly if you are trying to move the signal towards right side, the common area starts at this particular point. The pulse width of this particular signal is 1 and this pulse width is 1, and if you try to keep on move the signal towards right side, overlapping area will be keep on increases, and here the 100% overlapping between x of t and h of tau, and if I still try to move on the signal towards right side, the common area between these two signals will be decreases, and here at this particular situation the common area becomes 0. So that is the reason the convolution starts at 0 and it increases up to 1, here it starts increases up to 1, and it from 1 to 2 it will be decreases. So based on, if I try to plot based on this analysis, the convolution starts at 0, it slowly increases up to 1, and it decreases from 1 to 2, and this particular amplitude is nothing but the multiplication of this particular 2 and with this particular amplitude of this particular h of t. So 2, and this is the convolution. So you need to note down the reason why I am trying to explain you this. If you say from general mathematics 1 integration a to b x of t dt, if I say this will give you area under the curve. This will give you area under x of t from a to b. But if I say try to have signal x1 x of t and h of t and dt, you know what is this will give you? The common area, this will give you common area between two signals, x of t and h of t. What are the signals you take? So common area, or we also call it as overlapping area, overlapping area between. So that's what we are trying to understand in the convolution. I am taking x of tau is one signal, and h of t minus tau is another signal. X of tau is one signal and h of t minus tau is another signal, and we are trying to integrate these two signals. Means what we are trying to do, we are trying to calculate the common area between these two signals. So common area between these two signals, in the sense, if I say this is my x of t curve and this is my h of t curve, so I am saying it as this is x of t and this is h of t. This will give you, this is the common area, which we try to understand. So this integration gives you the common area, whereas in this case, if you say it is this my x of t, I have a signal like this, and these my limits a and this is b, this area will be given by the integration. This area will be given by the integration. So in this we are trying to integrate two different signals of x of t and h of t, which the overlapping area of overlapping two signals. So this is same thing we are trying to understand with the help of the concept of convolution. We are trying to calculate the convolution of these two signals, while in the step 2 what we are doing, after folding the given h of tau as h of minus tau, this h of minus tau will be bring from minus infinity to plus infinity, while bringing the common area between this folded signal h of minus tau and x of tau will give you the convolution of the given signals, will give you the convolution of the given signals. So that's what we try to understand here. There is no common area, but here yes, still there is no common area, but here if you see the vertical axis h of minus tau, this axis is coinciding with this particular axis, and where the common area overlapping area starting, still if I try to move on the signal towards right side, still there is the overlapping area is keep on increasing, and 100% overlapping area, and if I try to keep on move the signal towards left side, right side, the overlapping area will be decreases. So that's the reason, based on the step 1, the convolution starts at 0, it keep on increases to 1, and it decreases from 1 to 2, and the product of these two signals is nothing but the amplitude of this particular signal. 2 into 1 becomes this 2. So now if you look at this entire process of convolution, directly or indirectly we are trying to perform this particular, we have time folded in the second step, and time shifting in the sense what we are trying to do, we are trying to give the different values, for this particular t plus t. Maybe first time we will say minus tau plus 100, second time minus tau plus 10, so on, by decreasing the values. Every time we are trying to decreasing the value, the signal is getting moved towards right side, and we are trying to search for the common area by giving the different values for this particular small t. So that is nothing but the time shifting operation. And in order to determine, after sketching this particular convolution of these two signals, in order to determine this amplitude, what we are trying to do is we are trying to multiply this magnitude of the first signal with the magnitude of the second signal h of tau, and this 2 into 1 is becoming 2. So that is the reason this multiplication operation also we are trying to perform. Then integration, in order to perform the integration operation also, this is what we call it as a graphical convolution. So there is, we can also express this y of t is equal to, 0 when t is less than 0, right? And maybe we can calculate the expression for y of t when 0 less than t less than 1, and even we can express y of t when 1 less than t less than 2, and we know y of t is equal to 0 when t is greater than 2. This is called the graphical convolution, we call it as, and this we call it as analytical convolution. The graphical convolution and analytical convolution. And we have some process to determine this expressions for y of t in the convolution. Easy methods we have with the help of convolution concept. But here for time being we can understand to determine how this convolution will be calculated for this, as we can determine this is based on the coordinate geometry, simple mathematics. This is 0, 0, and this x is 1, y is 2. So this point will becomes 1, 2, and this point will becomes 2, 0. This point will becomes 2, 0. So take x1, y1, x2, y2, x1, x2, x1, y1, x2, y2. So based on the coordinate geometry, y is equal to y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1, where m is equal to difference in y coordinates divided by difference in x coordinates. You know this slope. Based on this formula, we can get the expressions for this line and this line. That is one way of calculating. Even we can use other methods to calculate the convolution of these two particular signals. So this is the way how a graphical convolution of two signals will be given and understand. And this is nothing but the response of linear time invariant system, what we are trying to understand. in the for the linear time invariant system. If you are able to determine the convolution for these two signals, that is nothing but the output of linear time invariant system.